This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jay Bryxx, the Brick Wall, the Iron Fist. You're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Jay Bryxx.
Oh, I came in too early. I ruined it. It's okay. Let's try one more time. I'm just kidding. What's up, everybody? This is Jay Bryxx. I'm here. I'm finally here. I've been here for a while. My man's been looking for me. He finally got a second to get me here, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. And where can we see you compete next?
Oh, I got a couple shows coming up this weekend. Tomorrow, me and my partner, Richard E. Stone Esquire, we're taking down Security Inc. at Tetsu Pro Wrestling in Bristol, Connecticut. You can also catch me this Sunday. I'm doing a double shot. I'm at Tesla Strength for Training Day 42. I got a triple threat match with Don Freeze and Dashing D, or the formerly known artist Dashing D. I don't know what he goes by these days. And then that same night, I'm at BCW. I got a dog collar match with Sean Amari, and their show is called Wheel of Chaos. Pretty much they spin the wheel, and that's what I unfortunately got matched with.
Definitely a busy week coming up.
Oh, yeah. My back's going to hurt, my neck's going to hurt, my brain's going to hurt. Everything's going to hurt.
But it's going to hurt so good, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe for me it'll hurt good, but for the other guys it's not going to hurt so good.
There you go. Alright. And where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
You can find me. All my platforms are the same thing. It's going to be Jay Bryxx, and that is JAYBRYXX across all media platforms.
And you do in at the actual matches, you do spell it with 2 X's, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Sometimes they take one of my X's away. It's all right. I message them back. They put my X back. But you know.
All right. I think it's fine as long as we don't get into triple X territory.
That is my OnlyFans, Jay Bryxx. Oh, Jesus.
And your merchandise?
Pretty much you're gonna have to reach out and do like pro wrestling tees or anything, mainly in person. But if someone messages me and cash asks me, I normally can get them out to them through the mail. But mainly I do kind of in person stuff.
All right. Well, you don't have to look for it. All of the links to all his social media and his OnlyFans will be in the description of the video below on YouTube.
Yes. Help me out. Starving, as you could tell. Anyone that sees me knows I'm starving.
Alright. Now you work for Coliseum Pro Wrestling and Tetsu Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with those 2 companies?
So, Coliseum Pro Wrestling is a child of House of Pain. It's Sunset Steve Garcia. They're out of West Haven. Those guys kind of been mentor for us hustle and muscle for a long time, and we finally got the opportunity to go out there and just kind of prove and show the world what we got. And we're currently tag team champions. We've defended our title now probably, I'll say twice, 2 or 3 times, and There's no end in that reign anytime soon.
Right.
And Tetsu Pro, uh, my good friend Sander Lit, for those that know, Connecticut scene. He opened about maybe 2 years ago, and we're rolling there ever since. Uh, but I'm mainly out of like the wrestling school that I'm out of is called Test of Strength in East Hartford, Connecticut, and that's where I got my start.
Now, I did notice Tetsu Pro. They have a six-sided ring.
Yes, they do.
What is it like competing in the six-sided ring rather than the traditional four-sided ring?
I think the hardest part about the six-sided ring is that you're used to a square. So now when you go to shove someone off, you go to give someone an Irish whip. In a normal ring, you know where you're going. If you don't have much experience with a six-sided ring, when you go to Irish whip someone, instead of whipping them into a rope, you're actually whipping them into a corner. So that's kind of been the kind of the hardest thing to do. Also, if you're not paying attention, I'm a tag wrestler. You you go to whip someone, you whip into a corner, your partner's not at. So you have to, reevaluate the situation, and it gets kind of frustrating. It's like having a map, but the map is for the wrong area. But besides that, nothing much. It's not too bad. People say that the bumps are a lot harder in a six-sided ring, and I just think all bumps in general suck. So I don't really see much different.
Okay. Um, but definitely prefer the four-sided, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's a nice little change. Visually, it looks amazing. And then trying it out is a whole different monster that we're trying to, you know, tame. But eventually, like it's gonna come second nature.
Definitely seems like it's keeping you on your toes, to say the least.
100%, 100%. You really gotta be in the moment. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I got this in the bag, so I can just kind of let my mind wander. Pick on a child that's eating popcorn and knocking popcorn out of their hand. But in this six-sided ring, you really got to pay attention, so you can't do like the normal shenanigans that I'm used to doing.
Oh. Um, Now we'll get into all things the form in a minute. But I did want to ask specifically about somebody because your first big break in pro wrestling was being the bodyguard of Elijah Six.
That's
Um,
correct.
can you tell us about your relationship with Elijah, considering he just retired a couple months ago?
Yeah, I don't think he retired. I have hope. I think on paper he's retired, but I have hope that he figures out what's going on. And he comes back, 'cause he's definitely 1/4 of the firm. Like that's literally my brother. Like I love the kid to death. Like we started training on the same day, and yeah, I was his bodyguard for a long time. Like I would say, like a year and a half. Like I wasn't wrestling just yet, and we were up and down New England for a year and a half, and I really got to see him grow and evolve and become this monster. And yeah, he's my best friend. Love him to death.
And I do hope you are correct, and it's only retirement on paper, and we could maybe see Mr. Six back in the ring.
Oh
That being said, what's a pet peeve about Elijah you just don't understand?
yeah. uh, he is literally the person that he is in the ring. He literally is outside the ring. So it's tough because sometimes you just can't turn it off. So like Like we've been to like McDonald's or something after the show, and like someone would look at him funny, and he'll just start yapping at them. Or he is literally the loose cannon. We call him the loose cannon in the group because you just never know what's gonna come out of his mouth or what he's gonna say. But it makes for interesting trips. It'll take a 5 hour drive and shorten that for sure. He'll scream at pedestrians, and he's insane.
All right. Well, it started with you and Elijah, then it evolved with you and Richard E. Stone, and Sammy
Yep.
Diaz came into the picture, and you became the Farm.
Yes, he
Can you
did.
tell us about your relationship with Mr. Richard E. Stone and Sammy Diaz?
Yeah. So it was Elijah 69 for a long time. And, uh, we knew that Sammy needed, like, he was what is it, it's a white meat baby face or whatever they call it. He's
Yeah.
just extremely clean cut, like, never done anything, but he felt like he needed to change. So he came into the fold. Sammy came into the fold first. And then Richard E. Stone, he saw talent and he needed to be a part of that. He was, just our lawyer for a while, but he kind of became the mastermind of the whole thing, man. Like you can't let size fool you. This guy has a mind for the business, and he just kind of whipped us all into shape. And the rest is history. We still together, like it's not so much on screen these days because we're all part of like we're all in different stages of our career, but the firm is still alive for sure.
I mean, in essence, it still is because you are tag team champions with Richard, in Hustle and Muscle.
Yep. But yeah, I mean we're there's things in the works. You gotta watch the products. Like there's gotta be some surprises down the road.
All right.
So like I said, yeah.
Well, that being said, what's a pet peeve about Richard and Sammy that you just don't understand?
Man, you're gonna get me canceled. You're out of my own group. All right, let's see. Richard Stone. Richard Stone. Ooh. Richard Stone is always late. He's late for everything. Like we gotta be there. We gotta be there this time. It's like, yeah, I'm on my way. Like the other day, I was gonna meet him. He had to give me. We bought these jackets that were debuting soon, and I was like, I'm outside. He's like, yeah, I'm outside. And I stood in the cold. It was like 30-degree weather for 10 minutes because he said he's outside, and then I see him pull up, and he's just constantly late. I think that's like his worst quality. But the thing is, like, I'm also late. I'm just not as late as he always is. Um, and Sammy, I don't know. It's hard with Sammy. Sammy, he shows up, he does what he got to do, and he leaves. So it's a hard one to think for Sammy. I'll get back to me on that one.
Fair enough. Well, doing my research, you find things. And one thing I found interesting, and cage match is not always 100% accurate. Was Patrick Same
Do I
ever?
have a cage match?
Huh?
I don't think I do. Cage match, like the website cage match?
Yeah.
I
Ironically
don't think
enough,
I have one.
none of yous have cage matches, but the
Not
forum
even, not
has
even
a
a.
cage match.
Well, that's insane. Well, see, like before us, there's been a couple firms. So like, I wonder who the members, what it says the members are, because there was a firm out of New Jersey, like a couple years before we came out. There was a firm in uh, England. There was a firm like up north, like more like Maine area, and we always kind of like between us we make this joke that we're like we got to get all the firms together and have like a firm a firm pay per view, kind of like NWO sold out. But
The
yeah, I
forum
wonder
hate the
who
forum.
does it say the firm is? I want to know.
Well, all of the members were present. It was Elijah Six, Richard E.
Okay.
Stone, Jay
Yeah.
Bryxx, Sammy
Yeah.
Diaz, but
Okay.
it also said that Patrick Saint was a part of the film.
I I don't know, but I don't know who who put that. I mean, I don't know who put that in there. We have had like honorary firm members where like they did one match with the group, and I don't think Patrick Sane was one of those guys. I know Mike Skyrose did two matches as an honorary firm member. Um, who else? Mike Skyrose. That's the only one I can think of. Oh, what's his face? Dashing D was an honorary firm member for one match as well.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, but no, not Patrick Saint. I think one point or another they confused Patrick Saint with me and vice versa. So they're like, yeah, that's the guy. When Patrick Saint has short hair, but yeah,
Alright. Cage match. Fix it in post.
cage match, get your shit together. What can we swear?
Yes, absolutely.
It's too late.
Say whatever the fuck you want.
There you go. Thank you. See, you broke the barrier. Now I can say.
Oh. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Patrick Saint not a part of the farm.
No, I love
Was
Patrick Saint. Not firm.
was there or is there ever a thought to bring in another member of the farm? A fifth member.
Yeah, all the time. It is normally me. It is normally me, and the guys get annoyed with me because I was like, we always need. I want a female wrestler in the firm so bad, and for a long time I pushed for Karen Bam Bam because she is just a literal train of a woman.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, she is. She. We need her. We need her. So I always push for a fifth member. Yeah. But that's just been just me. Everyone else is like, no. I'm like, okay. So now when Elijah Six gone, maybe. So who knows?
Alright. Richard E. Stone putting in those emails.
Yep. He works tirelessly to hear my dumb suggestions.
Well, speaking more about Richard, can you tell us about your 80s training montage?
Uh, yeah, that was a while ago. No, that was this year. Man, time kind of flies by. Who were we facing? We were facing Stepdads.
Oh,
Was it? No. I remember. We were facing Q the Pit, also known as Q the Ref, and Bull Dread. And I remember we weren't really training, we weren't really doing much, and I suggested we should have an 80s workout montage because that's how every movie does it, you know?
right.
Instead of giving you, 3 hours worth of training, because that's really what happens, you get a condensed 1 minute of workouts. And things got pretty hairy. Richard E. Stone pulled out a knife or a sword or something, and I had to stop him. I was drinking raw eggs. That's what you're supposed to do. He over here making an omelet. So I think we did our best, and we ended up winning that match. Believe it or not, because even when we're not ready, we're still at our best. So
Now, who's coming up with those vignettes? Because you've done a few of them.
yeah, it is honestly like Richard and I have been together for a while now. So when you're around like people, you finish each other's like sentences, you finish each other's sandwiches, you finish each other's ideas. Like I literally said halfway, like I said, hey, we should do a workout, and he said montage, and just kind of we're both just like that. So I said it was a joint effort.
And that's why you're the form lead.
For the what?
Well, that was the next month. That was the next
Oh,
promotion.
firmly matters.
Firmly matters.
Yeah, Firmly Matters. Was we were and we done two of those. I don't know. Oh yeah, the first one was called Firm House, and it was a Full House spoof. That was like one of the first times we faced the stepdads um in like just a regular tag match. Normally, like Test of Strength does a lot of like six ways, four ways, and eight
Right.
ways. You know, we always been around those. Excuse me, we always been around those guys, but that was I think the first time we actually got them in a regular tag match. We did a Full House spoof, and then it was a Family Matter spoof. It was Firmly Matter, but yeah, we faced those guys so many times, and we just keep kind of rehashing the same joke, and it's a hit every time. So we just keep doing them.
I was gonna say I'm definitely a fan.
But yeah, it's one of our better ones. That took that one took a while to get together because we just every time we kept filming, we just break character and start laughing, and we have to restart the video. But it happens.
Alright. Now, can you tell us about putting 5 people in a Boston Crab?
What? I think I know what you're talking about. What was the question?
Can
Putting
you
five
tell?
people in a Boston.
Yes. Can you tell us about putting 5 people in a Boston Crab? I believe one of them was Brother Greatness, and the other one was
Yeah.
Big Juicy.
So there was Brother Greatness, Big Juicy, I believe La Chica, Montequilla, Hippie Dicky Moon. I believe that's what it was. And that was really uh, Montequilla had a match the prior weekend at House of Glory, and he did that. And I remember seeing it, and I'm like, I kind of want to do that too. So that's kind of pretty much stole his move, and it was going real well. And then Dashing D gave me a knee to the back of the head, so
Yeah.
it was short lived, but it was glorious when it was happening.
Well, one thing you didn't steal, and I don't think anybody has stolen since then, the
Oh
back
no, here
aroma.
we go. before before you said anything, I knew I knew what was coming. um, so what's really funny about that? So like in practice, we do back rolls because it's just like part of like essentially like the essential move. Like you got to know how to front roll, back roll. Like it's just part of the game, right?
Right.
And that day, like I was still breaking in my boots, like they were like kind of new, and I was like, oh, like because I like recently at that time I recently have changed from like the boxing boots to pro wrestling boots.
Okay.
And so I was still breaking them in, and I was like, oh, let me see if I can still do the back roll, right? So, I was gonna tease that I was gonna dive. By the way, Jay Bryxx doesn't fly. It's just that doesn't happen. But I'm gonna tease like I'm gonna dive. Everyone's the outside, right? So before even before like the match or whatever, like before the fans came in, I was practicing my back roll because I was like, let me see if I can do it with my boots, and I was like, perfect, I'm doing them. So then the match is going on, everyone's outside. I'm like, I'm gonna down these guys. I go hit the ropes. I jump prematurely. I see it in the video, and it took me so long to catch it. I jump prematurely, and I bounce off the top rope. Like with my belly, I bounce off the top rope, and I go to back row. That's not how I would do it because I was teasing a suicide dive, so you were going between the middle rope and the top rope.
Right.
But I jumped on the top rope, and my belly bounced off. I'm in the air for like a second, and then when my feet hit the ground, I go for a back roll, but I already had messed up. Like it was doomed from the beginning. I couldn't get over. I couldn't get over. And I was just like thinking, I was like, you still gotta make yourself look good. So I backflop. Like you could hear the video, the actual audio, you could just hear everyone laughing. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make this look good. And I did my pose and people just started clapping. I was like, all right, that's the best. That's the best you could get out of that situation. But man, the ribbing was out of this world for like the next 4 months. Like everyone's like just making jokes, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're doing the macaroni today," and like they're calling me Booker T and all this shit. It was just, it was. I deserved it. It was hilarious, but man, that was that was a rough time. And then we were like, we're like, hey, we're gonna put this in our arsenal where, uh, you go do the Bryxx and you use that as a distraction. We actually didn't want to the matches, but I go and I do my backflop, and then they're looking at me, they're laughing. And here comes Richard E. Stone from the top with the splash. So but definitely that was one of those like, let me make the best out of a bad situation, and it worked.
And that's honestly fantastic because not a lot of people would be able to say, such a botch like that
Yeah.
in such a gracious way.
No, that's just still funny to me. That was like a year or two ago. That shit is still hilarious to me. Like it's something that I could do any other time. I could do that. Matter of fact, after that event finished, I went in the ring and I'm like I did it like 5 times in a row, and I'm like, why couldn't I do it the one time that mattered? So, uh,
Well, an interesting match of yours that I came up on was when you wrestled Little Mac from the Nintendo game.
oh yeah, yeah. That was what is it, cosplay championship wrestling. That is also a part of Tetsu. It's an event they have every year at the XL Center in Hartford for CT Comic Con. And I was Balrog, he was Little Mac, and it was a fun. That was Colossus Mike Long, and someone that I have immense respect for. We just went out there and had fun. We didn't call anything. We just like, let's go out there and have a boxing match. Halfway through, we realized that there's a punch out machine playing a Super Nintendo nearby. We're just gonna go over there and play the game. He legitimately started beating my ass in the game too. So I just bonked him in the head, and that kind of became viral for a little bit. That was really cool. Like all that footage from CP Con kind of shot up. And sometimes non wrestling fans that love wrestling way more, and that was one of those instances. Because like all my reels around that time were getting the numbers. The one reel of him giving me a giant uppercut, guy.
It's crazy, you're wrestling Mike Law, but he's not technically Mike Law.
Hmm.
Is it still a big moment because he is a well-respected name in pro wrestling, but it's not
Yeah.
exactly the environment that you would necessarily think.
No, for sure. I was very excited. I hope to wrestle him at an actual, when I'm Jay Bryxx and he's Mike Law, because I just really enjoyed, like, he had positive feedback. He's a great guy, so I definitely would love to see him in a wrestling venue and a wrestling match.
All right. Now, going from a boxing match to probably one of your most interesting rivalries, can you tell us about your rivalry with Don Kincaid?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Don Kincaid. I could sit here and talk about Don Kincaid all day, but he's on a hiatus right now, so I'm extremely happy. He should stay away. I despise the man. I hope nothing but bad thing happened to him. Uh, hope he's listening because I hate Don Kincaid. I like Don Kincaid. What? Wait, I don't know his dad. I don't know his actual name. Well, let's just call him Don Kincaid Senior. That's the only Kincaid that I like because every other Kincaid can fall off a bridge.
Alright. You had that one moment where you actually ran up to him and decided to interview him after a match.
Yeah, he's always in someone's face with a camera, and he always has questions. And it was funny because when I came up to him, he was so quiet; he didn't know what to say. So it was giving him a bit of his own medicine, and he didn't know how to drink it.
Alright. Now, I think it's time for that segment once again. Jay's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro
Oh
wrestler
boy!
that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a
Mhm.
road story that fits that description?
A bizarre story. I don't know, but the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know why this comes to mind, but we see it was Elijah Six and I, and we were going up to Impulse Pro to wrestle Tony Allen's, and we're going up to Vermont, and we see this Ferrari, and he just goes by us, and we're just like, look at that dick, because he almost hit us. I'm like, how you gonna drive $100,000 car and almost hit my piece of shit car, right? And he's going, and a couple miles down the road, you just see the smoke, this black smoke coming out, and it's just, and we just see a man running away from the car. Somehow he set his car on fire, and I don't know why that's the first bizarre thing that came to my mind, but it was just hilarious to me. Like I feel bad for him, but it's also like he could afford a Ferrari. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that is, that's definitely bizarre to say the least.
Yes.
Well, speaking of cars, um, you allegedly mistakenly kidnapped Ichiban 2 times.
Oh my. Listen, I thought it was Ichiban. Uh, Prior to that night, Ichiban was in my house. He delivered a pizza. I was too busy talking to someone on the phone. The pizza guy was Ichiban. I run outside. This man disappeared. He just had a disappearing act. He also ran into Sammy. Sammy went to wash his face off. Ichiban was behind him in the mirror. He turns around. He wasn't there. So I did some research. I thought I found Ichiban, but it ended up being later known to be Fly 9 Noriega. But in my heart, I thought it was Ichiban. You can't blame them, man. They look the same to me.
Hey, if they did look very similar.
Yes. See, you agree.
Alright. Now you was featured in the newspaper. Um, it's one thing to be featured on a website, but when it's actually in print in your hands, I feel like that
Yeah.
means a little bit more. How did you
Uh,
feel about it?
I was honestly ecstatic because I it was something that I wasn't expecting. It was for our debut at Renegade Wrestling Alliance (RWA) in Rhode Island, and I don't know who we impressed, but they came up and they were like, "Here's a newspaper," and I'm like, "Why is this man giving me a newspaper?" And he's like, "Oh, flip to like page 45 or whatever." And we flipped and fair, and there it was us versus DCMC, and I just couldn't believe it. I have that frame in my room now because I was just so excited. And it's honestly like such a great privilege to be part of the newspaper. And then we got a couple copies. I gave one to my mom. I gave one to Richard, and I don't know. I was ecstatic. I still love that we made it to the papers.
Alright. Now, you are also a sponsored athlete. Heel shit is
Real shit.
tracksuit, I believe. Heel wear, I would maybe say.
We call it, well, the we say heel sh, you
Heel
know,
sh. Okay.
because we can't use words, so heel sh. And if you're a child, we say heel poop, but doesn't sound like it. Yeah, but heel shit is an apparel made by Tesla Strength GM Alex Rojas, who is honestly like such a great person. He is in the middle of battling cancer right now. So any help that you guys can go over there and order, he does beautiful title belts. He does shirts. He does gear. Like our main gear, he's made pretty much like all the gear for Texas Strength guys is for him. All like the title belts, Texas Strength are him. Tetsu's debuting their belt soon, and they were made by him. Uh, the Ocean State Championship Wrestling title is made by him from RWA. All of NWWE's titles are made by Alex Rojas, and he's extremely talented. Definitely go check him out at Heel Shit. Uh, you know, he definitely use the help right now.
Well, would it wearing, heel shit attire, do you feel like you're kind of locked into being a heel until he makes babyface shit?
uh, you know what? A heel for life. Even when we're good guys, we're still not the best good guys. Like no child has ever looked at Jay Bryxx and been like, "That is my hero." Even when I'm high fiving them, they're like, "Man, this guy's terrifying." So I just let the public make their own decisions about me. I just go in there and try to get a win.
Alright. Um, can you tell us about having 25 staples in your knee?
Oh my god, that was honestly. So I've been wrestling for 5 years, but it's honestly just been three because uh, I got hurt during practice. What year was that? 2020. So it was like the pandemic hit, and my last match for the pandemic was beginning of February in 2020, where we wrestled. At that time, they were called the Buff Bitches. It was Becca and Little Mean Kathleen
Okay.
versus
Squanchy fun.
yeah. No, yeah, you gotta watch that match. That match was extremely fun. It was for, I believe it's Pizza Party or Wrestle Party. It was either one of those. I think it might have been Wrestle Party in Rhode Island, and wrestled them. That's the first time meeting them, and they went out to blow up. Like those girls are just like on the top of the scene right now, obviously,
Oh yeah.
and I'm very happy for them. But we wrestled them. That was February 2020. So then the world went to shut down, and then it opened up for like wrestling. It opened up back up a little bit like around October, November, and I remember Wiz and Curls had like this photo shoot with all like the African American wrestlers and stuff, and we had like a training session ran by Matt Taven and Chris Casanova, now known as Carmelo Hayes,
Yeah.
and uh, we're training, blah blah, everything's going great, and I've never been extremely good at like up and over. So what we were doing is going up and over and land on the apron. And after doing like seven of them, I'm a heavy guy. I did do like seven of them. I land on the apron, and I feel a pop.
Ooh.
And I'm like, that was not good. So, they told me to get out the ring, and I'm sitting down, and I'm wearing my shorts, and they're kind of long, and I'm like, let me see what happened to my leg. Because I thought it was my leg, not my knee. And I look down, I pull my pant leg up a little bit, and I see my kneecap is in my thigh.
Oh my god.
And I was, yeah, it was a freak accident. And I'm with Ichiban at the time, and I'm like, hey man, you gotta get me to a hospital. And so we ended up going to a hospital somewhere in Warwick, and they're like, yeah, you ripped your patella tendon, like we're gonna have to do surgery. And so that same night went to surgery, and like I got 42 or something. I don't remember the number, um, but yeah, that took me out for 2 years, and it was really rough because the world went to shut down, so it opened back up for normal as I'm injured. So I'm seeing all my guys blow up, like Elijah Six and Samuel got Pencil Strength Tag Team Championships, and Richard's doing his own thing, and they're going to Wrestling Open and debuting in all these debuting in all these great places, and I'm just in the sidelines getting better, but it sucks. It sucks in the part where I was like, man, like I wish I was in there with my boys doing my thing, but I just gotta cheer from the sidelines. But I'm very happy for everything they accomplished in that time. So, but
Right.
yeah, I've been wrestling for 5, 6 years, but had to take 2 years off because of my knee. And now it feels stupendous, and I'm hoping it holds up.
Now, when Ichiban drove you to the hospital, did you have to get in the trunk?
No, I got in the front seat, but it was impossible. I gotta find the video and post it because I'm in so much pain that all I can do is laugh because there's just no other emotion. Like it's either laugh or cry, and I'm gonna pick laugh every time. But it was impossible getting in and out of the car, and man, that was a night. A poor guy had to wait like 7 hours just because this happened like around 8, and we left the hospital around 3 in the morning. So he was in the car the whole time. He wasn't allowed because this is
Right.
like COVID is still really scary at this time. So he just had to sit in the car. And it's cold, and we ran out of gas at one point. It was a nice hotel for sure. Um, but yeah,
Alright. I think it's time for the colossal question.
here we go.
Named after Mike Law, ironically enough. If let's say that they're making a movie about you. Every
Oh boy.
movie has a soundtrack. What would
Yep.
be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
What would be the first track on my movie soundtrack?
What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
The first three. Huh. I don't know. What am I an action film? Like, is it about me? It's a movie about me,
Well, it's a movie
or
about you,
I'm
yes.
in the. It's a movie about me. Huh.
I mean, I always go with it's a biopic, but I mean, if you're a producer on it, it could be whatever you want it to be. I mean, it could be Jay
Gee.
Bryxx versus zombies for all I care.
All right. I like that. So we're gonna go with Jay Briggs versus Zombies. We're gonna pick something really mellow, and the first scene's gonna be me killing like every zombie in sight, but to a really mellow track. So Brandy, that song from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yes.
Brandy. Yeah, that would be the opening scene.
Okay.
And then halfway through, I find like a really good looking woman, and I do my thing. Probably that song that's like I believe in miracles. I will be playing during that scene. And then what zombie movie doesn't end well if I don't die? So I'm gonna die to I don't know. Jeez, what do I die to? Uh, Jeez, this is harder than I thought. I was not ready for this question. This one really took me by surprise. I need something to die to. You know what? I'm gonna die to the Titanic soundtrack. You know that the Celine Dion. Every night in my dream. That's what I'm dying to. It's gonna be great.
Okay. There you go. That is definitely the soundtrack, and I love it. Uh, now that we got that down, Who plays Jay Bryxx? And you can't say
Oh man,
yourself because you're
no,
obligated
it's
to.
definitely not gonna be myself. I have a feeling other people can play me way better. I'm gonna make myself into a woman. Um, I'm gonna Queen Latifah's gonna play me as Jay Bricks.
You're getting into that Pandoverse
Queen
scenario.
Latifah as me. I like it.
Okay.
My love interest will be played by let's see, hmm, Kate Upton. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
It's gonna be a great movie. I'm glad you gave me this idea. I'm gonna start working on this.
Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would
Okay.
be three people significant to you in your life that would be in your movie?
Oh,
And who would play
it'll
them?
be the firm. It will be the firm. It will have to be the firm. Richard E. Stone's gonna be played by Sean Penn
Okay.
from Carlito's Way. Um, Elisha Six will be played by what's that crazy dude? Oh man, uh, not Dennis Leary. What's that other guy?
Uh,
Uh, he's insane. Oh, never mind.
what
I
was he
wish I
in?
remember him. What is it?
What movie was he in?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. He got the crazy horse teeth. You know what I'm talking
Crazy Horse Teeth.
about.
Now you have me thinking.
What is his name? Anyways, so I need to recast Elijah Six, and then Sammy Diaz is gonna be played by you know that guy that plays Hector in all like the movies. He has like he's just the one Hispanic guy. He's in every movie. His name's just Hector. Like in Fast and the Furious, he's Hector. In all the movies, he's Hector. That'll be my guy.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be my supporting cast.
But, I mean, the real question is, do they survive at the end of the movie?
I think yeah, no, we're all dying. It's gonna be the movie's gonna be really cool. We're gonna be killing all these zombies, but then we like party too hard because we think we killed all the zombies in the city, and then Richard E. Stone gets bit and doesn't tell anybody. And then he eats Elijah Six. Then it's just me and Sammy bunkered in, and he is gonna go. We got one gun, one bullet, and he's like, "All right, we got to decide who's gonna kill themselves." And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna kill myself." Then I don't, and I heel turn on him and shoot him in the head, and then I
Wow.
die of starvation.
That is some good shit, if I do say so myself.
See, see, thank you.
And I love how you came up with all of this in literally 5 minutes.
That's how we come up with the promos. It's just ADHD on 1,000.
It sounds like a great movie, and you could
I
pre-order
know. I
the
can't wait.
tickets now.
Yes, Ticketmaster.com.
Oh yeah.
Only Ticketmaster. I'm gonna make an inconvenience for everybody to get a ticket.
All those inconvenient charges.
Yes, all for me. I need my chicken wing, my chicken wing fund needs some money.
Alright. Can you tell us about your love of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Underground?
How do you know this? This is the first Dog Wars moment that I've had. How do you know that I love Tony Hawk? That's my favorite game of all time. Like Tony Hawk Underground, it is honestly like I could put that to any game. Like you cannot beat that game. That is like the best. I mean, you could beat that game, but you could not beat the number one status on that game. That you just creep me out. Cause how the fuck do you know that? Like that is the best game ever, 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 ever. Like oh yeah, holy shit, that was out of left field. Congrats.
Yes, we do our research here.
That is a deep track.
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah, my music taste is based off all the Tony Hawk games. Like, it's just, yeah, that's a good question. Holy shit.
Has has there been a skater video game came out since then that has piqued your interest? Because I
So
mean,
there was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, because I was gonna say because if it ain't Tony Hawk, it's usually not as good as as it could be.
So I would say, so like, when I was growing up, when I was like a young adult, uh, in the early 2000s, there was a lot of like kind of replica games. You had like Racer Scooter, and you had Aggressive Inline, and you had the Dave Mirra games, you had the what is it, Matt Hoffman, BMX. Like all those games kind of came out around the same era,
Yeah.
and I just loved all those games. But like I mean, like ever since the Tony Hawk franchise, I would say maybe it's the Skate franchise. But then so Tony Hawk was fun because it was like a little over the top. Like no one could do a Mac twist over a helicopter in real life. It's just never gonna happen. But they
Yeah.
were still they were still really fun, you know. So when Skate came out, it was fun because it was really realistic. But then they went and got more fake with it, and it just wasn't as it's not as over the top as Tony Hawk, so they weren't as enjoyable. But yeah, they're still fun games. Like I like the God of Wars, um, but like I said, nothing can beat Tony Hawk.
Okay. Now, can you tell us about your love of KFC's potato wedges?
Ah, Jesus, that's the only casualty of COVID that I miss.
Yes.
Like, how you gonna take away the wedges? That was the best part. No one cares about fries.
No.
All right, no one wants regular fries. You want a wedge that is crispy on the outside and tastes like mashed potatoes on the inside. Whatever they're doing now is a mess. And anytime they have something good, they get rid of it. They had these they had these little spicy chicken wraps, and they were so good, and they just got rid of them. KFC just continues to upset me at every turn.
No, I'm on the same boat. I loved the KFC potato wedges. If I
Yeah, they
wanted
need to bring it back.
if I wanted fries, I'd go to McDonald's.
Precisely. See, a man of culture.
Yes. Alright. Um that being said, onto the most controversial of questions.
Here we go.
Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Ooh, see, I don't care because I have a more controversial opinion. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't care for pizza.
Ooh.
All pizza tastes the same to me. So I'm the wrong person to talk about that. I will put peas on a pizza. I just don't care for pizza. So yeah.
Okay. I maybe one of the first people that's just anti pizza in general.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a dying breed. Anytime I tell someone that, they want to murder me. So I'm literally a dying breed.
Alright. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Oh my god. Drowsy.
Hmm. Okay.
We're both fat. We both like to sleep. It's great. It's great.
Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you
Mhm.
know the acronym for THUG? THUG.
Tony Hawk Underground. Tony. What is it?
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. Because a Doug can't spell.
Oh, okay.
But I love the initiative with the Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk Underground. I told you, it's the best.
But we love the late great Tracy Smothers trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
Okay.
Now, the weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully.
All
Would
right.
you ever consider wrestling a rap? not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
I'm sorry. A what?
A rock. You know, like the
A
mineral.
rock.
Yeah.
All right. Is it a river rock or is it a normal rock?
Um, it's like a garden rock, like you would find where you would put your
Like it
keys.
has sharp edges.
Um, I would say sharp edges. Like I would say like the kind where you put a key underneath it.
Oh, I will fuck up that key rock all day. I'll stomp them out. One, two, three, easily.
All right. But just for context, there is this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled an actual rock for over 15 minutes in a tungsten man match.
15
That's
minutes.
that's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
What? Is there footage of this?
Yes, 100%.
Ah, you need to send me that. That sounds insane.
I will send it to you.
All right. That sounds crazy. I'm excited to see that.
Yes. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, I'm hoping that I can be at the next step within this next year. I'm trying to wrestle like Limitless, Wrestling Open.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to head into New York, New York, 'cause New York has a great scene. It's just I don't really know anyone that's at like the bigger venues and stuff. New Jersey, but somewhere like within the next year, somewhere into that, and in 5 years, I would love to be uh, on NWA. Like that's honestly like my favorite current product is NWA. I would love to be in there. So that's what I see myself in 5 years. AEW, hopefully, WWE if I get lucky somehow. So that's what I was saying.
Alright. Now, what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about?
Honestly, I'm still waiting on XWA to release. We had a program with Waves and Curls, and Waves and Curls and us have been going at it for a while at that point. And I feel like those are the best wrestling matches that we have. You can't really see them, but I would say if you have to watch uh, what Hustle and Muscle, like what you have to see from us, I would say we went against the collective on RWA, and I would say that probably displays what we bring to the table, like our flavor of wrestling.
Okay, so you wrestled the collective.
The collective, yep.
And where can we find that on YouTube?
Yes, sir. RWA, the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. They have it up on their YouTube. It's, out of their Summer Showdown show.
Alright. I will search the archives of YouTube for that match, and I will put a link to the match in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Yeah.
Alright, and since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Oh, damn. Let's go.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Ric Flair.
Worst wrestler.
Oh, Buff Bagwell.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Shawn Michaels.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Booker T. No, wait. No. Booker T, but also controversial. I'm so sorry, Chris Benoit.
There's nothing controversial of a banger of a song. Our Lady of Peace, nothing controversial about that. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is.
Oh my god. Dead.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit.
Oh my god, it got set up.
Tomato logic. It has seeds.
Jesus.
Yes.
Fuck tomato.
But you are a part of Squash Squad now, and that means a hell of a lot.
Damn, alright.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
There's only one wrong truck to butt cheek ratio, and it's Rakishi. Everything else is okay with me. No one should see the bottom crease of your butt cheeks. No, like nobody.
Okay, so Rikishi is way too far.
Yeah, that's the ultimate no.
Okay, and the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allen?
What about Darby Allen?
Yeah.
Never. I don't think that will ever happen. That would be insane if it does. I will give you $1 million if that happens to
Oh yeah. I'll give you my address after
you.
after the interview.
Yeah, that is insane.
And there's the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you.
Once again, where can we find all things J Bryxx on social media?
Across all platforms, JAYBRY XX.
Alright, and you could get merchandise by DMing you personally, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Well, you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link, and a new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt.
Exactly. Help starving artists. Not me, but help me anyway.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. We're on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale White Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Sean Martins, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews.
But
Follow this.
who you interviewing?
Sean Martins.
Oh, I know.
He's a
Sorry.
Canadian wrestler.
Oh, okay.
You can follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Instagram, and Thread. Follow me personally at JimC993. Yeah, alright. When I say Wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
I'm ready.
For our special guest Jay Bryxx, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.